Hey everyone, this is Joy Blight, and today I have a review for Farpoint. It's one of the bigger games that came out recently, and it's pretty good. I'm gonna start with saying it's a little overhyped. Reddit wouldn't stop talking about it for the first week, but it's still a game I think that should be added to any collection. This is also our first real first person shooter, and especially with the new accessory, the aim controller. It reminded me a lot of like Half-Life and Half-Life 2. Freaking spider crabs just everywhere. The controller worked great. I definitely recommend playing the game standing up, but that also means you're probably not going to play it more than an hour or maybe two. Because me especially, I couldn't just stand in one spot for 2 hours. By about an hour and a half, I was ready to sit down and, go play werewolves again. The monster variety follows pretty much any other sci-fi first-person shooter. They add a new enemy and a new weapon every so often, ramp up the difficulty a little bit. Nothing too new, but it does keep it interesting enough and enough variety to keep things fresh. The scenery was pretty cool. A lot of the first PSVR games kind of had that grainy texture effect the further away things were. I'm using the standard model PS4, and the graphics were pretty dang good, and I hear the Pro is only better. Room size may be an issue because it has a really defined cone of tracking. So if you're used to sitting down in most of your games, you may have to adjust your camera. You may have to step back a couple feet. So be ready for that. If you're going to get Farpoint, I also highly recommend the aim controller. To play it without it, you use the light bar that's on the normal DualShock, and it's just not going to feel anything like using a real gun. So try and get the bundle. The only problem I really had with this game was the movement. You can turn left and right by looking in that direction, and pretty much you're always going to move forward. And the monsters are programmed, if they leap behind you, they'll run in front of you again and then try to leap again. So you shouldn't have to worry about being attacked from behind unless you run past all the enemies, and then you're kind of screwed. The rooms that are really open, though, I found you're just going to be strafing a lot, and it's actually really dangerous to be going back and forth. So that was my only real issue with this game. Things I really like is it's not a game you're going to beat in one sitting. The aim controller is pretty dang good and fun to play. It's definitely challenging, and I was playing on the normal setting, and I died a couple times. There's an easier setting, and there's also a way harder setting. The online play I think was kind of lacking. There's no PvP. There's friendly fire in the co-op, and that's what you'll see as player deathmatch, I guess. The co-op is just waves of enemies, and you're both building up a score. So if you've played like the Mass Effect online multiplayer, it's a lot like that. You have a bunch of waves attack you, then you move on, and it's not really my cup of tea. It's kind of similar like zombies in Call of Duty. As you progress, you can also get different guns. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the co-op. I was expecting a full co-op story mode. A lot of games have done a very good version of it. Co-op story shouldn't have been too hard to implement. I'm not too sure why they didn't. Some online PvP would have been fun too. So yeah, while it's not the best game out there, it's definitely a good game. I recommend buying it, but if you get it, make sure you get that aim controller. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, head over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/joeyblight. You can see full unedited streams, and don't forget to hit subscribe and like if you want to see more. And I'll see you in a game sometime.
I saw it. I didn't see you though.